We are continuing on with some more of This is the Police. Let me make sure everything is working right, and then we'll get started. So, recap for those who weren't here last time or missed a bunch, or because it has been a while. A bunch of stuff happened. Jack went up to meet with his wife. And was ambushed and clocked in the back of the head and lost about 25 days worth of time. When he came out of his coma, he was in many ways a very different person. He was much more decisive. He was much more willing to go to any lengths to get what he wanted done, including threatening his mother-in-law. And we met the mysterious Robespierre in person. So, that was the big stuff. My police department was run into the fucking ground while I was gone. To wit, I have managed to, for the most part, recover from it, thank God. But let's get started and see what's happens this time. Up to day 64. We're over a third of the way through. Garbage collection fee increases 25%. Christ icon discovered in foundation of Buddhist temple. Freiburg hockey team on strike. 3 months no pay. Now, this is the special new thing from Robespierre is the little message down below. In which case he shows how City Hall and Mafia feel about me. And I'm guessing he doesn't have an informant in the police station because he doesn't say anything on them. Then of course always comes with a short little note. How it applies to things, I don't know. In this case, the chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So let's get started on the day. Oh, and Jack bought new clothes, a new car. He even bought new hair. Oh.
What's this, Martin? Think that'll cover breakfast?
Good Lord, Jack. You should knock.
Don't worry, Martin. I don't care what kind of business you're up to. Although on second thought, scratch that. I'm very interested in your business. In fact, that's why I'm here. You have a lot of connections?
Depends on what you need.
I want to keep my job. I've got another 5 years in me at least. I want to prove my dismissal is illegal. You know someone who can help?
Jack, are you sure you want to get involved in this fight?
Martin, let's not,
Got yourself a new toy?
He's going to fight every step of the way.
Martin. Just like a teenager, always on the move. Yeah.
Hello. Is this Mr. Boyd?
Last I checked, who's this? And where did you get my personal number?
When you work at the prosecutor's office, it's not too hard to find someone's phone number.
Hello.
Prosecutor's office? Just a second. Martin, out. I need to take this.
But Jack, it's my office.
It's his police station.
Okay, I understand. I'll go grab an ice cream. As for your little problem, Jack, I think we can work something out. Give me a couple of weeks.
Weeks?
Jack, what you're asking is...
Yeah, okay, I get it. Now get out already. I'm sorry, what did you say your name was?
She didn't.
My name is Lana Berman. I'm the deputy prosecutor of Freiburg. Well, one of the deputies. Not even the first deputy, to tell you the truth.
How can I help you, Miss Berman?
I don't know how to say this, Mr. Boyd. You see, Mr. Boyd, I'm in line to be the next prosecutor of Freiburg, and apparently that's happening quite soon.
Soon? Shia Broom was just re-elected for a new term.
Yes, but she'll be resigning in February. She's suffering from a heart condition, so she's chosen a replacement to carry out her term, and she chose me. You have no idea of the scandal, Mr. Boyd. I've only been at the prosecutor's office for half a year, and she chose me. It's incredible.
Interesting.
That really is unbelievable, Miss Berman. But what's it got to do with me?
Well, I understand how this call would seem strange to you, Mr. Boyd, but Mrs. Broom said she said that you have a lot going on, but You're the most honest official in the city. And if I really want to change the city for the better, and I swear that's what I want, then I should meet you.
I'm afraid Mrs. Broom was exaggerating.
Oh, believe me, Mr. Boyd, Mrs. Broom is not one to exaggerate. I'm sorry, Mr. Boyd, I need to run. Do you mind if I call you later?
Do I mind? Let me think. No, I don't mind, Miss Berman.
Thank you.
Well, now.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd.
This is taking an interesting turn. That could definitely make a big difference in things if I've got the prosecutor's office on my side. I've got a stripe to give away. And nobody's trying to leave. This is fantastic. Let's see. Gotta hold on my stripe for now. I was very excited yesterday when Fantasy Flight Games finally announced some info for the Legends of the Five Rings collectible card game. As somebody who's been a fan of L5R for a while, I was very much hoping... Ooh, I got stuff from City Hall. I was hoping for new... I've been waiting for news forever. Still got nothing new on the labor market. But yeah, to finally get some information, including some descriptions on the actual game, is very exciting. Let's see. Noise from a garbage truck woke up a vagabond who was sleeping on a nearby bench. The homeless man became angry and went to scold the truck's driver. A fight soon erupted. Then Kochi and Osman try and get his numbers up. Like all things, there's some things that I'm like, oh, that's a good idea, and some things I'm not a huge fan of with it. But hopefully with some time, it'll grow on me. Theft Desire Park. Jose Mana reported running with a pickpocket at the park. His wallet was stolen along with some documents and an expensive watch. I'm sure it was that red-haired brat. He was rubbing all over me. So we'll send Kingston and Adams. Oh, I think it's raining here. Oh, we got a report on the fight. It's getting ready to, at least. Vendor caught officers unharmed. Good. The L5R has been around since 1995. Let's see. Sitting quietly on the bench is a red-haired guy who fits the description, but in the distance there's a woman struggling with a young man in a hood, shouting and clutching her bag. Oh, Lord. If I go after the red-haired guy, it could turn out to be a fake. But there's the one guy in the hood that she's struggling with. Oh, man. We keep an eye open for other suspects. The guy in the hood notices the police and tries to escape. He stumbles, and several wallets and pieces of jewelry come tumbling from his pockets. Really? They give me that part, and they're going to say, walk over to the bench and hit the red-haired guy in the face. Shoot the fleeing man with the taser. I'm not going to run too hard on that one. Fraud in the residential area. Hello, I was contacted by a lawyer named Donald Horton Jr. who told me some wonderful news. It turns out I'm a distant relative of a Nigerian prince who recently died, and he left me $15 billion. He'd only to pay $20,000 in gold bullion to open an account to receive the money. But I noticed that the lawyer carries a pistol, so I decided to play it safe and call in a police escort to make sure everything goes smoothly. Well, it helps that this is a fake to begin with. So, but I always had, L5R had interesting history in universe, as well as what ended up happening in the real world surrounding it. I was technically still am a vanguard for AEG, and ended up becoming one partly because of L5R. So I was very disappointed when they announced that they were selling the game off, especially because it was also, they announced this during the big celebration for the 20th anniversary. It was not the greatest handling, in my thoughts. Felt Phyllis Emery is clearly beside herself. This jerk took out his crooked dick in the middle of a crowded bus and started to poke me with it. God, it was so disgusting I screamed, and several of the men on the bus grabbed the pervert and wrestled him to the ground. As they should. That is a perfectly reasonable response to that. Some people are just absolute fucking lunatics and stupid. But it was always a little bit more complicated than some stuff like magic. But it was one of those ones, as long as you had a decent teacher, which I'd like to think I was, and once you got the flow of it, it went remarkably well. City Hall has a wall repainted by some hooligans. If the police can't do their job in a timely manner and send those criminals to prison, they can spend their shift cleaning off the wall. No, I didn't get a report on it. If they don't report it, then I can't really catch them. Because yeah, I only end up getting calls. I don't get officers who are just cruising around and find stuff. Said I always liked the characters. I liked the universe. I love the LCG format simply because it's usually easier financially on people, and it's more about how well you build your decks versus, oh, I got this really, really nice rare here because I bought 30 packs where you could only buy 12, and so now I've got more rare cards that do more than you do. That was always a thing I hated with Magic, the chase. See, theft, parking lot. An eyewitness saw a man in a pickup truck cruising down a road, stopping at every parked car and siphoning off fuel into a spare tank he carries in the back. Passerby went up to him and saw the guy had a gun and ran. So we're going to send Kochi, Robbins, Osmond, and Adams. Ooh, drug sales. Drug sales at the drugstore makes sense, but I don't think these are the same kind of drugs they're talking about. Son of a bitch, I don't know why. The laptop keeps freezing on the stream. The elderly man called Station Rage. I went over to the drugstore to buy a hearing aid and some pain relievers, and the guy behind the counter tried to sell me some cocaine. Kingston and Ozaki. Hopefully I don't need any more, but if I do, they'll come back. Good. That came back. Armed robbery. The armed man entered a publishing office and demanded a copy of the new novel written by Ivan Bykov, which had just gone to press. So, Gibbons, Yancey, and Brock, along with SWAT. Crap. Oh, crap. Alarms are coming in from the Hell on Wheels motor show. Eyewitnesses report that a group of attackers broke the window, ran inside, and stole 6 luxury cars. According to one onlooker, they all drove off in the same direction. You should be able to catch them all. Fuck. I've got one guy. I can't send one guy. Shit. I need somebody back. I'm not going to make it. Oh, death parking lot. Suspect is inside. He's squatting down next to someone's car. One end of the hose in the gas tank, the other in the hose of the suspect's mouth. Apparently, he's trying to siphon fuel. Take the hose out of your mouth and put your hands up. He sees the police and quickly pulls a gun from his rear holster. He shoots wildly and misses. He fired at me. He's getting shot. There's no ifs, ands, or buts on that one. He drew his gun and fired at me. That is automatic. Old man has a hearing problem. The pharmacist was explaining that the old man's Vicodin prescription had expired and he mistakenly heard something about cocaine. Come on, get me somebody back soon. The man fires his shotgun in the air and yells to the editor, "Better bring me that fucking book right now or you'll be a hero in tomorrow's obituaries." Shoot the criminal with a taser. Should. Okay. Whew. Come on. I need somebody back in. Damn it. I'm not going to make the carjacking. Fender escaped. Son of a bitch. Saw with a deadly weapon, Unicorns of Arcadia Gay Club. During a performance, someone began shouting racist speech at a black singer and then fired several shots from a pistol. The room descended into a panic and everyone ran for the exits. Sankochi, Osmond, Adams. I'll send the paddy wagon. But yeah, L5R. Thankfully, I've got a bunch of the role-playing game. I still have a bunch of cards from the AEG stuff, and I was just getting everything started, and I was trying to build a community when that news came around, so I was very sad to hear that. Driving under the influence, passerby reported dark sedan speeding through the red light, swerving from side to side. He's got to be drunk or stoned. Just thought you'd want to know. Well, of course I want to know. Kingston and Brock can probably handle that. But thankfully I hadn't gotten people super invested in it when the news came down. Oh, pour on double homicide, drug possession report, hit and run report. God, no new frames. Situation is more serious than we thought. Send Ozaki, Dager. Can't send SWAT. I'll send 2 of them. No new frames. God, there's something. I'm missing pieces of this because none of the pieces add up. Let's go back to the investigations. Hit and run. Double homicide. Aha. Wait a minute. Come on. Truck filters twice a month. Driver removes boxes in the funeral home. It'd have to be a smaller truck than that. So it's got to be there. Still not quite. Let's put Alejo and Ackers on this. God, I'm missing something with this. I don't know what either. Oh wait, I had something for gangs, didn't I? Yeah, the funeral home, which was what we're investigating right now. Huh. Driving under the influence, police cruiser caught up with the sedan, which is swerving dangerously all over the road. Stop the engine immediately. Sedan suddenly turns into an underground parking garage. Tell the attendant to block all the exits. Vendor call, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Good. Found pharmaceuticals. Take it to the station. I am not getting many opportunities to get more money, and that saddens me. Considering that's kind of my metric for success. Vendor caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Whew, that's good. Okay, end the day there. I mean, what I've managed to read for the new L5R, I like some things that they're doing. I don't like others. In some ways, they're streamlining some things and making some things more difficult. So it's not exactly really an improvement. I don't know. Freeburg mail truck missing. Nursing home to get cable TV. Girl sets house fire to watch firefighters. Well, they have done that before. City Hall likes me. Mafia is just okay with me. No such thing as a free lunch. Well, that is true. Everything costs in the end. Woodard didn't come to work today. A band's playing a charity concert for some sick children. Can I have a day off? Yeah, I'll get Feinberg. Let's see. Start the day. Let's pick something. Let's see. Requests. Can hire one more officer. Got anybody worth it? Nope. Hire one more detective. Got nobody worth it. I'm getting 10% more a week. I can improve my SWAT team. Work 4 times a day. Now my SWAT is maxed out. Salt, milk factory. Factory worker Vitaly Samanov quarreled with the head of the plant and attacked him. Colleagues called the police but are afraid to intervene because Samsonov, is as strong as Knox. He took us all by surprise. We'll send Prado, Murata, and Cintron. Let me think. I need to go to Affairs, Police Station, Feinberg. I am going to hold off this time, but disorderly conduct at the dump. About 24 Amish men chased everyone out of the city dump and blocked all access. The Amish community claims that the land belongs to them, and as evidence, they're presenting a handwritten document. The eyewitness reports that they're not behaving very peaceably, and there are hardly any weapons aside from a few pitchforks. Bukarika, Silk, and the paddy wagon. The Amish don't usually cause too much trouble, but the handwritten documents are always iffy. But it's hard to say. But yeah, L5R has this very... Oh, hold on a sec. Vitaly Samsonov is holding the plant manager over a vat of milk. The manager is crying and kicking his feet, and then he wets his pants. Jesus Christ, don't pee in the milk. Children drink that. At that point, they would have to drain the whole vat because the whole vat would be contaminated. Release the hostage immediately. Fender caught, officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Good. The whole thing has a Japanese influence over it. Send flowers. And we'll send Mitchell. Largely, it's, very kind of feudal Japan style setting where, and the expectations of how you're supposed to act and react to people is very much that. But the big story is, of course, all the different clans don't get along. Of course, most of the time when your players are playing, in the card game, it's usually each player is going to be a different clan. If it's the RPG, oftentimes different players will be different clans. So they will distrust each other just for the fact that they come from the wrong place. Through reckless endangerment, we received a number of calls from visitors at the local zoo. Saw a drunken zoo employee open the cheetah cage. Dangerous cats are running amok and have started to attack people. Prado, Powers. Crap. Some Murata. Fuck. That's not great. Come on, let the milk situation. Oh, disorderly conduct. Got taken care of, thankfully. Noise complaints. I gotta get the others back before I can do anything on that. Reckless endangerment. Vendor caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Good. That went quick. I'm glad it did. Noise complaints at the cemetery, huh? Let's wait for... And... Okay. Caretaker cemetery reports strange sounds coming from the crypt. I'm afraid it's the dead finally come back. These are dark days. I have a feeling it's not quite that. I have a feeling it's probably a group of kids hanging around in the crypt. Armed robbery, LifeWire store. A man wearing a ski mask entered the LifeWire consumer electronics store. He pulled out a gun and demanded all the money and the most expensive toaster. Interesting choice. Store security guard was fast on his feet and managed to knock the gun out of the robber's hands, but then he grabbed a sales assistant by the throat. He's threatening to strangle her unless his demands are met. Send Prado and Silk. But of course, it's feudal Japan style setting with the supernatural thrown into it. So Oni, supernatural powers, you name it. For any of you who have seen the recent film of the 47 Ronin, it's very much a similar feel to that. Would be the easiest way to get the idea across. A man in the ski mask in the middle of the store holding a girl by her throat and yelling at employees. Pull a gun on him. Pull a gun on him, make clear you better give up. Man releases the girl and starts to run. He then enters a room with a bunch of refrigerators and disappears. Expand the search to the entire store. Vendor caught, officers unharmed. See, if we go in there, you could easily double out and come back out. Firefight Rubinovich Casino. A gang stormed the casino and went straight for the utility room. The eyewitness who called the police said he heard gunshots, and then the gang members started carrying out some boxes. Okay, let's send everybody for this. Door of the vault opens. There's a rustling down in the darkness. Shine a flashlight down there. Two homeless men jump out of darkness. They're carrying a shovel and some jewelry. It seems they don't want to give up their plunder so easily. Taser. Judging by the sound of it, they're coming at me in a threatening manner. Found jewelry. Take it to the police station. Oh, hush, Harley. I always thought 47 Ronin was okay. Obviously, the story goes it's based on a real story, but or in this case, a real legend. It's always been up for grabs. I know you can still go to Japan. You can go to the graveside of the 47 Ronin. Firefight report. Vendor caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Good. Found automatic weapons. They're coming to the police station. Vehicular accident. The owner of a grocery store saw a car drive into the sidewalk and then knock over a girl who's playing with her roller skates. Then the bastard stopped, waited a second, then backed up over the child again. I've heard that's how the Chinese do it back home, but are we really going to let them get away with it here? Whew. That's a little dicey way to look at it. But there's always been questions on the legitimacy of the story of the 47 Ronin, simply because some things just don't add up in the way things were usually done. Mr. Boyd, you have prepared the corpses I asked for? No, absolutely not. I forgot about that. A man with a strong Spanish accent said that a dozen people are being held against their will in the basement of a cafe. The hostess of the cafe seeks out needy immigrants, gains their trust, and promises mountains of gold, then imprisons them to make them work around the clock for stale food. According to the man who called, he was one of the slaves, but he managed to escape. The woman also has 5 armed guards who regularly beat up the least productive workers. I'm gonna have to send one more. Murata. Prostitution at Kevin's Throat Bar. I always want to screw that one up. Frank Zucker reports a young blonde in a short red dress approached him at the bar and offered to go to bed with him for cash. I've never laid down with a whore. Can you believe this bitch? Prado and Bucarica. That's fine. Vehicular accident report. Vendor caught, officers unharmed. Good. But obviously the movie is, other than its basic premise, entirely fictitious. The traditional version of the myth never mentions anything remotely supernatural, and it is entirely supposed to be realistic. 4 police officers entered the nightclub and started arresting people for having fun. They bullied the girls, and when the guys got angry, they beat them up and humiliated them. One of them put a gun in a patron's mouth and shot the others. Another cop knocked out a man's front teeth with the butt of his gun. Club manager has serious doubts these are even real police officers, and suspects that one of his competitors might have sent them over to cause trouble. I'm gonna send everybody I got. Okay. No new frames found. God damn it. Finally, I got new frames. No new frames. Okay, let's go look at the hit and run. Okay, we're going to put this one back. Put that one back. I go put that one in and put that one in. God! I don't know what I'm missing. Wait. Come on. Put back. Problem is, it's oftentimes just having a couple things in the wrong order. God damn it. Prostitution report. The blonde is Frank Zucker's ex-girlfriend. She came to the bar with her friends. Frank saw her and decided to teach her a lesson. Imprisonment. The police found a secret tunnel in the basement. Does ascend into a very dark and smelly room. Man notices the police, shouts something, and quickly disappears inside. Turn flashlight, inspect the room. Police are taking enemy fire. It's a good question. To return fire or pull out pepper spray? This is really a no question. They are firing at me. Their fire comes back. Vendor caught officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Yeah, I went to think about it, and it was like, no, this is a very clear-cut situation. They fired at me. They're getting fired back at. That's how this works. Let's see. I still got the impersonating police officers. I knew that was coming. Thankfully, I planned for that, too. But yeah, and what set L5R different, especially in the RPG, is it's not necessarily about conflict. It's very much a role-playing game where you are, you have to play your roles, because combat, when it comes up, is often deadly. As good as your character might be, it's often very brutal, where one wrong move and you are dead, which is entirely realistic. Yep, it's definitely raining now. But yeah, it was. Oh, uh-oh.
Mr. Boyd, I am Agent Avrahami, and this is Agent Roberts. You'll have to come with us.
What now? Oh.
Please get dressed, Mr. Boyd. We'll wait for you in the car.
Oh, Lord.
Mr. Boyd, did you hear what I said?
You know what? You boys can go to hell. I'm not going anywhere. Not right now, at least. You can come down to the police station during regular hours. You can't just come to my house while I'm sleeping, pull me out of bed without any breakfast. Right now, the only place I'm going is back to bed. I'm closing the door now, and if you...
Jack, what's all this? I told everyone what a great sport you are and how fun it would be to play a little joke on you. Where's your sense of humor gone?
Ethan, it's 5 in the morning. At this hour, the only thing that'll get me laughing is one of you feds slipping on a banana peel.
At least he's honest.
What'd I tell you? He's such a joker.
You're getting old, Ethan.
You're getting fatter, Jack.
And you're getting boring.
And you're getting fired.
Fine. You win.
But you're still a snappy dresser, Jack. As I'm sure you can guess, we've got an assignment here in Freeburg. Come on, let's go. We'll fill you in at the scene. Oh, and I really am glad to see you, Jack. You have no idea.
Well, now. This isn't going to be good.
And this is Agent Suresh, Agent Kumaro, Agent Ellis, and Agent Dixon.
Jeez, how many men did you bring?
11 people on my team, plus 2 heads, but they're still asleep at the hotel. We got to Freeburg a couple hours ago.
This will be interesting.
Actually, I was asked not to communicate with the local police, at least until the press conference, but, well, you're a friend. And by the way, you're lucky you didn't have time for breakfast.
That means this ain't pretty. Dead girl.
Now, the press are calling him the Dentist. Just like every other fucking maniac, he's got his own stupid nickname. We spent 19 years chasing this guy. The M.O. is always the same. He kills young women in a small town, drops out of sight, and then reappears on the other end of the country with a fresh set of victims. He kills without hesitation, stuns the victim, then strangles her while she's unconscious. And that's when things get fun. He uses a power tool to ream out the dead girl's mouth. For 5 years, we've heard nothing. That's the longest break he's ever taken. Then 6 hours ago, we got a crazy anonymous tip that the dentist was in Freeburg, and he'd already committed his first murder. They even told us
tip
the
came from the murderer. He wants the attention.
Our anonymous tip came from the dentist himself, but that hasn't been verified yet. Oh, Dixon, don't go anywhere. So, Jack, listen. Dixon will take you to the station. You can bring your people up to speed. I'm looking forward to full cooperation, and it would be great if you could bag a criminal like this before you retire. A nice farewell. You know what I'm saying, Jack?
Yeah, a nice farewell.
And Dixon, Mr. Boyd will tell you where to take him. Come on, look alive. You're the police chief's driver today, if that's good enough for you.
Well,
Come around to see you tonight. Buy us some beers, huh? But not that piss you normally drink. That stuff gives me wicked heartburn.
yeah, they structured this like a TV series. I'll give Kingston the day. I'm sorry, Coachy, I can't give you time for just heartburn. Let's see. Adams isn't doing too bad. Purdy's done pretty well over the past. I'll give her the stripe. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Oh. But yeah, I'm serial murder residential area. 20-year-old Allison Bell. Oh, hold on. I need to clear some things out. Detectives, clear slots. Because I ain't sending some pissant rookie. It's a hard way to look at it, but that's the long and short of it on that one. Oh man, I don't have a couple of great detectives, but let's look at my hiring pool. Please tell me yes, thank you. Look at personnel. Shift A is a couple of shy of the other. So I'll send for Shift A, for Shift A, for Shift B. Dr. Debbie Flagella. She's not great. But what about my detectives? Oh yeah, I definitely need a Shift A detective. Shift A. Okay. I need a couple of guys from Shift B to join Shift A. I'll send Hall over onto that. The only the structuring of how they're doing the LCG is good for the most part, but the fact since they have 7 clans in the starter box, they couldn't put all of the cards for all of them or enough copies of all the cards for all of them in the same box. So you have to have 3 of the box sets to have a full complement of cards, which sucks, but it's kind of one of those ones to keep the costs down and give a wide variety. I understand it. Sadly, the clan I was primarily alleged to is not in there, and that's the Spider Clan. They weren't introduced until way later, so I'm not surprised in the whole story. But my other clan that I was allied to, the Dragon Clan, is, so I'm very excited about that. A Beast Man found himself stuck in an elevator, but when people attempted to help him out, he lashed out and began to strangle one of them. This is the 3rd time I'm late to work, and it's all because of this fucking elevator. The thing I always loved was the fact that the big tournaments for L5R, the prizes were not big cash prizes or anything. Yeah, there was, some cards, some things like that. Oh, wow. Detective Ziegler fell into a violent trap set by the dentist and was declared dead on the scene. What? Oh. Mr. Boyd, after the needless death of Detective Ziegler, the guys had a quick word and we decided we can't keep going on the assignment like this without SWAT support. From the dentist. Hello, Jack. I suspect you don't like the dentist nickname any more than I do. Let's just say that's who I am and get down to business. Take a good look at the postcard I sent you. It points to a place where I hid something. Follow the clues. Keep on the trail. Let's just say there's a reason I'm giving you a chance to catch me. But don't share this clue with the feds, or the trail will go cold, I promise you. And hurry. If you don't figure out the right place in the next 24 hours, I'll destroy all the evidence and walk away. As much as I want to share the clue, I'm worried he'll go in on it. So in this case, we're going to keep the clue. Let's see. Art. Something biblical from the looks of it. I'd have to say it's the top one simply because there's a halo on it. But, let's see. Wings. I don't see any laurel branches. Mustache. The pizza mustache doesn't make any sense. I can't really do anything with it anyway. Oh, crap. I can't read it for the fucking... Let's see. Okay, it's the... Let's walk away. It's art. It's biblical. Chief, you're getting yourself into a dangerous game and you can't win without evidence on the dentist. You hold in your hand a key to what happened to the victims. Look closely at the image on the card. It will help you figure out where the evidence is hidden. Send your detectives, but don't go around blindly guessing. I doubt you have the resources to go to all the possible places in time. Proceed. Gotta be the Holy House. I'm gonna send bowling and hall and SWAT. Attempted murder, residential area. Whew. An elderly concierge reports that he saw an angry girl through the window attacking someone's car with a baseball bat, yelling, "Get out, you painted wretch. Come on, I know you can hear me. I will kill you myself." Okay, then. Send Gibbons and Brock. Report for assault. Offender caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Good. Saying, but the biggest prize was the big winners didn't just they didn't just get to win the prize, get the plaque and the sword, but they got to make decisions for the story going forward. I can still remember the story of the Shadow Dragon really well. It was Gen Con, early 2000s. A player was playing a Crane Clan deck, and he had the Air Dragon in there, one of the only of the celestial dragons to come down from the heavens to help humanity. But he had not used it at all during the entire tournament, and he made it to the finals. And he was so close to victory. And what he did was he brought the Shadow Dragon out into play, and he used a card that made it more powerful, but corrupted it, winning him the tournament. So not only did he make some decisions, the actual writers for the game looked at the scenario, how it happened, and then they wrote the dragon into it. The dragon, was fighting off the forces of the darkness, and I've forgotten names off the top of my head, sorry. And in order to make sure it never reformed, because if they destroyed it, it'll just reform back in the void, he consumed what was left of the darkness and took it into himself, knowing that it would never be able to escape, but forever condemning him and slowly decaying him until he became the Shadow Dragon. And I actually have a copy of one of the Shadow Dragons, and I love the fact that there's not just background for the character, but the fact that a player is responsible for that background. I love that. Mr. Boyd, my attempts to raise ratings for Justice for All failed, and I was let go. I'm getting ready to launch a new TV project, this time about the harsh everyday life of ordinary police officers. For the pilot episode, I need 2 cops who can ride around with for several hours. We'll go around the city in the police car and record various real-life stories. Your officers will be awarded $300, and you'll get a more impressive bonus. This time, we do have a real budget. I'll send Dagger and Austin. You discovered the evidence hidden by the dentist. Yes! I knew that one would have to... Piece of torn fabric. Well. Evidence. Okay, I've not got much to go on. I can't just put frames in like the other ones. Jack, Officer Purdy somehow learned about the postcard from the dentist, and he's up in arms. You've been suppressing evidence. He's just demanding that I take action immediately. He's taking this directly to the prosecutor's office. I convinced him to sit on it for a couple more days. We have to do something fast. God damn it. Vendor caught, officers unharmed. Freeburg Birth Control Union. The 3 people died in the blaze. The Freeburg Birth Control Union Women's Center. So we'll send Bowling and Hall. That was not as great because Hall's getting ready to change shifts. Purdy. Really, Purdy? Derek Allen. Chief, thank you for the wonderful help. I think it'll make a great TV series. In fact, we ran out of true stories and had to improvise a little. No shock there. I think someone blurted out something not very nice about police officers and about you personally, but don't take it to heart. Woo! 10 grand. Thank you. I am not surprised that somebody found out about it. I'm not suppressing the evidence. The evidence is there. It's just concerned that he'll follow through with his threat. Arson investigation has started. I was about to go home when the building suddenly lost power and it got really quiet. Then I heard a muffled noise like a little clap just from down the street. The building had about 10 employees. I didn't notice the smoke at first, and when I saw the fire, I began to yell. But it was too late. Some people just didn't make it out. The time of the tragedy, I should have already been home. I was just leaving and I ran into Ronald Sherman on the street. He's the ex-husband of one of our patients who decided not to have her child after she consulted with the Freeburg Birth Control Union. After that, Mr. Sherman openly quarreled with his wife. I understand that he beat her and later they divorced. Since then, he's come to our offices several times, and in the evening of the fire, he was standing across the road wearing a large backpack. He made a point of walking past me and then muttered something in the spirit of burn in hell, bitch. I thought how close I was already to hell. If people could wear such ugly red sweaters. Oh. Whew. Fire was started with a small plastic canister filled with an accelerant, which was thrown from the street through an open window. Fire began to accelerate. The building was already without power, which interfered with the usual evacuation plan. Damage to the external cables shows they were not cut, but simply pulled from the wall by force. See, theft at the market. Michael Gibson was only away from his vegetable shop for 2 minutes, and then someone managed to steal a big cart filled with watermelons. I brought that hauler a month ago. Bright orange, easy to spot. Thing weighs almost 500 pounds, so I can't have gotten far. Send Kochi, Osmond Adams. Fraud Fortune Bank. Bank employee reports that a suspicious man came into the bank. He's obviously trying to cash a forged check. The cashier also says the man is hiding something under his jacket. Gibbons, Purdy. But yeah, and not only do the cards that they made for characters like the Shadow Dragon, stuff that, players responsible for have the usual credits on there, it gives the player credits along with, when it happened. Which I love that. It was such a great little touch. I have my doubts Fantasy Flight will continue that trend, but I would really like it to, because that's one thing that made them really stand out amongst everybody else. Across the market, there's an elderly couple rolling a big blue cart filled with fruit that looks like watermelons. They said it was an orange cart. So, continue search for the criminals. Around the farmer's market, there are 3 carts. One of them is orange, filled with watermelons. 3 women are carrying something over to a small truck. Watch until someone goes to the orange cart. Vendor caught, officers unharmed. Good. Trespassing, farm. Bill Buckler said there's no less than 20 cultists have taken up residence on his farm. They claim that the house and the surrounding acreage belong to them. The Lord has given us unto this land for our suffering, according to Buckler's unwanted guess. Some of the cultists are armed. Yancey, Robbins, Brock, and the paddy wagon. Suspect sitting in a chair, obviously very nervous. He grows very agitated when he sees police and starts banging his foot on the floor. Watch suspect. Man suddenly jumps up and grabs the woman standing next to him, putting a huge knife to her throat. He knows the police are there for him. Yeah, my friend, you're going to find yourself in a body bag. You better release that hostage quick. Good. Always nice to see. I mean, I would give Purdy credit if I was actually suppressing evidence, but I'm not. I'm following what the killer said, and I just haven't shared it with the feds. I wanted to share it with the feds, but we need all the evidence we can get to catch this guy. So, vendor caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Good. We got the cultists. But yeah, it's always best, especially when it comes from a serial killer like that, to take their threat seriously. As much as I want to share with the feds, if they showed up, I'd probably tell them. But if I make a point of going out to them and showing them, then it's going to make it well known. The question is, how would he know that I've gotten it? Let's see, 3 new frames in the arson. Double homicide got 3 new frames. Drug possession got no more. I need to go back to the double homicide. I've forgotten about that. Okay. Crap, I don't remember. He was in a gray coat. Okay. Gray coat, white t-shirt. Went for the alcohol, picked up a 6-pack, then went to checkout. Standing right in front of this guy at checkout, he seemed pretty suspicious. There was smell. Got from him as fast as I could. That's all I saw. Handed the cashier's credit card when the cashier told him it was empty. Pulled the gun out. Put the guard was standing nearby. So let's see. Goes there. Actually, and he put this frame back. He came in. Whoops. Grabbed the beer. Went to check out. It was declined. Pulled the gun on the girl. The guard tried to grab his gun, but the guy was too fast and finished him off. Oh, whoops. Talking when a woman came up. Such shock. In case the other guard didn't pull his gun, so I'm going to assume that's that frame. I had to go inside. Someone said he jumped me, almost knocks me over. I didn't have to yell anything. He just jumped on the bike and left. Ooh, this is the big question. Okay. I'm going to say it's not a... There we are. Rob Lawrence, unemployed, previously convicted for burglary. Said it was a bike, didn't say what type of bike. Good, she's here. We'll send Adams and Purdy. Okay. Said it was a bike, couldn't tell whether it was a motorbike or a bicycle, so had to try it. Thankfully, that one went pretty smoothly. But yeah, I loved L5R for a saying. Sadly, it's one of those ones I've picked up more than I've actually gotten to play. I was glad I was able to get a hold of some of the final set that they did for it. Vendor caught. Good. And we'll end the day. Wow, that was eventful. God, I can't believe Ziegler was killed. That.
So I went
messed up.
downstairs figuring I'd find some mercenary or an escaped serial killer or some other lowlife I'd put away, right? But when I hit the lights, I saw a young kid. Couldn't have been 20. Skinny, dirty. Didn't even have a real weapon, just a rusty shiv. He just stood there, didn't say anything. My whole career, I've been staring down the most dangerous people in the country, and the only one to get into my house and scare my family to death was just some kid about to crap his pants. I pointed my gun at him, and he just stood there with his mouth open.
Bad luck for him.
He was pretty lucky to still be alive. And you know what? It was you that saved him.
I think you have me confused with somebody else, Ethan.
No. Listen. All these years, me and Marla joked about how dangerous my job is. We figured that sooner or later someone would sneak into our house and cut us to pieces, yeah? Pretty dark jokes, but innocent enough. And Marla asks me not to jump into gunfights when she kisses me on the cheek before I leave for work. It's like we figured that if we joke about stuff like that, then it'll never actually happen.
If only that was true.
While I trained my gun at the kid's nose, I finally realized someone really can get into our house. Someone really can cut us to pieces. Now that it finally happened, I can't make any more jokes like that. Marla won't laugh anymore. She'll burst into tears and stay in bed all day crying, hating me more and more every second. So I figured the only way out of the situation was to show her that if someone really does dare to break into our house, he's guaranteed to get a bullet in the face. He'll die right there on the living room carpet.
God, Ethan, didn't know you were so bloodthirsty.
I'm telling you, Jack, I was serious about shooting this kid right there where he stood. I was about to pull the trigger. But then I remembered you. Remembered 1,000 years ago, we went to the lake and had some beers after an ethics lecture at the academy. I was all angry with that professor, Laszlo, yeah. Remember what he always told us? Being a good policeman is very simple. You just need to keep doing the right thing. I hated those pretentious speeches. I cussed Laszlo up and down and said, if you always do what's right, you've turned yourself into a robot. And you just sat there, drunk eyes staring into the distance. And you were all calm and said, no, Ethan, it's the other way around. To do the right thing takes everything you got as a human.
I said that. What an idiot I was.
Come on, Jack, it's not funny. When things get bad, it's those moments you gotta be hopeful and stay human. And I did just like you said. I stayed human. And then I slapped the cuffs on the kid in one quick move, just like Bobby Flash.
Bobby Flash?
What? You don't remember Evening Freeburg, the old news column? Stories about the cop hero Bobby Flash? I heard they even published a book a few years ago.
Oh, that Bobby Flash.
Yeah, that Bobby Flash. How can you not remember Bobby Flash? We all argued at junior high about which one of us would be Bobby Flash when he grows up. Oh, I'm no Bobby Flash. A hero cop would never think about shooting a terrified teenager.
They think it. Whether they do it is the difference. Everybody thinks it when they get in that situation.
If I'm not Bobby Flash, then maybe you are.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe so.
Wish there was the opportunity to tell him about the evidence that we found. City Hall intern found dead in apartment. 21-year-old Allison Bell, victim of a brutal murder. Freeburg housing construction affordable. Take a look at the message. One man's trash, another man's treasure. Okay, so far, same old, same old. Oof, excuse me. Yes. Oof. Ames is in a bad situation. Yesterday I lost a bet and swallowed my car keys. Last night I was shedding blood. I think I better go to the hospital. Fuck. I'll give Murata. She does pretty good. Court assigned custody case of my children today. I've heard this one before, but I don't think it was Powers. I'll say yes. We've got plenty of officers. Yeah, I'm going to be very intrigued for it. I definitely recommend any of you who are even, it sounds mildly interesting, I would say definitely take a look at it. Jack, we hear your employees got on camera and said all sorts of rubbish to discredit you and the Freeburg police. We've had to put pressure on the TV studio, close down the show. From now on, keep your chatty little monkeys over there in check. As for Austin and Dagger, I want them gone by tomorrow. Freeburg police failed to detect the appearance of a famous serial killer in the city. It has become clear that your detectives simply are not up to the challenge. You have 7 days to fully update your detective roster, find some smart young faces, and put the other assholes working for you. And those other assholes working for you, keep them as far away from the police station as possible. I have some good officers working for me. Okay, we are on shift A, so it's shift B. I can't legally fire them. I sent Dagger. I've got nothing to legally fire them. Fuck. Oh, I haven't looked at my labor market. Just detectives. Ah, shit. Oh. Shit. I don't want to have officers killed. Jesus. The FBI can't fucking track this serial killer. How the fuck am I supposed to? The old man complained that a suspicious guy was lurking around his apartment building. He doesn't live here. I know the faces of my neighbors. This guy is selling drugs. McNamara and Feinberg. Oh shit. I'm going to actually have to consider Sands on that. Ooh. None of those really help me in this situation. That blows. Guy didn't have any drugs. He was only waiting for his girlfriend who hadn't answered his calls since they quarreled. Damn. So far, it's been pretty quiet. Well, I was distracted looking at something else real quick. Saw a deadly weapon, city center. Man attacked a sales girl at the flower shop when she refused to give him a bouquet of roses on credit. Eyewitnesses report that the man struck the poor girl with a pistol and started choking her with some packing tape. All the while he kept yelling, "I just want to be treated as a human." Bastian, Flowers, and Feinberg. A quiet day. Haven't heard anything new from the dentist either. That's definitely the right frame. situation. Ugh. Christopher G. Sands Ice Arena. An armed man wearing what looked like an explosive vest standing next to an attraction at the ice arena, demanding that the dangerous stuff be dismantled and removed right away. Park visitors and their children are trapped on the Ferris wheel, and the offender is refusing to let them leave. SWAT, send the paddy wagon. Prado, Bastian, Bucarica. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll send Feinberg. Gives me an even number of officers left. But I definitely recommend any of you who are interested, or it sounds mildly interesting, I would definitely look up L5R. The Fantasy Flight's website, they give a nice little rundown on the basics of it. I don't think the rule book itself is available yet. Vendor caught, officer unharmed, civilians unharmed. And didn't find anything. Okay. Abduction in suburb. Felipe Santos said that his former business partner, together with 3 armed accomplices, broke into his house and demanded money Santos couldn't pay. He keeps all his cash in the bank, so they kidnapped the man's wife and their infant and took them to an abandoned house within the outskirts of the suburbs. They ordered him to return with the money within 3 hours. His name is Rafael Souza. Created the company 3 years ago. Business was lousy, so he blackmailed me after the first year and forced me to buy him out for a huge sum of money. Now he's found out the business turned around and he wants even more. Mitchell McNamara, House in Cintron. Yep, 2-hour warning. I'm watching a Kickstarter. It's in the last couple of hours for The Prince's Gambit. It's a Vampire the Masquerade themed card game from the guys over at Onyx Path Publishing. Definitely looks interesting. Motel manager saw some people dragging a limp body from one of the rooms. Now they're tearing the room apart, obviously looking for something. Some flowers and silk. But yeah, I said, I would definitely look it up. They give some breakdown on the 7 clans that are going to be in there. Now with guns, hands smoking on the porch of the abandoned house. Go around the house to the back door. Music inside the house is pumping loudly. 3 armed men are sitting at a table playing cards. In the corner, there's a frightened woman with a child. Rush over to help the woman and child. First thing is making sure they're safe. Vendor escaped, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. At least the civilians were unharmed. That was my biggest concern. Sucks they got away, but I was more concerned that they'd get hurt. Hit and run report. Got 2 new frames, but they're not great frames. Robbery report. God. Ugh. I'm missing frames to make this work. There are people shining flashlights inside the room. The voices of the perpetrators are raised. Does the police come out with your hands up? Criminals are confused. One has a knife. The rest have flashlights. The body on the floor covered in stab wounds. Maybe surrounded, drop everything, and reach for the sky. It's only half true, but... but... I said... It's definitely interesting. It's definitely a little different. And for those of you who aren't familiar with it, the LCG format, the big concept is the idea that as opposed to stuff like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, you don't have to buy individual packs of cards and get something random. Each box, whether it's the core set or things that they will release afterward, are completely set. So if you buy the core set of cards and someone else buys the core set of cards, you're going to get the exact same things in both boxes. Same thing for the add-ons later on. So while there is a bit of the I can spend more than you can involved, usually new products are released every few months as opposed to, we're releasing a set that has all these cards and you just got to randomly get what it is. In this case, I want this. I'll pick it up. You'll have all the cards that belong to that set. Usually you can also find the lists online and say, oh, well, there's nothing interesting in this I really want. I'm going to pass on this. So it's just really handy. Uh-oh.
Boyd here, and I hope you have a hell of a good reason for calling me in the middle of the night.
I'm sorry, Mr. Boyd. I'll call you back later.
No, wait. You're the girl from the prosecutor's office. Lana, right?
Yes, exactly. Oh, I'm so embarrassed, Mr. Boyd. The first thing Mrs. Broom told me about you is that you almost never sleep. I don't sleep too much either, so I thought I'd call you and apologize for last time.
But it wasn't the last time, was it?
Well, I've been going over our conversation in my mind, and I realized how stupid I sounded. You're the chief of police, and there's a strange girl calling you, saying she'll be the next city prosecutor, just to share the news, I guess. I must have sounded crazy.
Not so crazy as you imagine, Lana. When I learned I was going to be police chief, my parents were already dead, and my only friend was working 1,000 miles away from Freeburg. Wife and kids were relaxing on a distant island in the middle of the ocean. Took me 6 hours to get a hold of them. But I had to share the news with someone, or I would have gone mad. All the more because I was surrounded by half a dozen cops who figured they were ahead of me for the job. I figured you were feeling about the same.
It's like you're reading my mind. Now I'm like an outcast here. Most of them still think that Mrs. Broom was joking or trying to show her deputies that she's in charge of appointing her successor. But I know it's no joke.
For some reason, I didn't doubt it, Lana.
That's probably why I'm calling you. I know it's selfish. I'm sure your wife isn't too keen on girls calling you at night.
My wife and I, well, we're not living together. Maybe I'm the loneliest man in town, and that's why you called, to talk to someone even lonelier than you, huh?
Yeah, that
Lana?
definitely brings awkward silence.
You know, Mr. Boyd, maybe I'm an idiot, but until this moment, I didn't realize how lonely I am.
Ooh.
Well, you're in luck, because now you can call me anytime. But if you do, you'll have to call me Jack.
Jack? It'll take more than one phone call to get used to that.
Well, we're not in a hurry, are we?
True.
Whew. This is going to get interesting. This is going to turn sideways. You can see that. 44% of Freeburg believes homosexuality contagious. Authentic uniform of German General Karl Wolf discovered in city dump. I doubt the authenticity of that. Boutique sale invites stampede. Okay, everything's the same. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. They can go probably one more day or two in this. Tired, I can hardly walk straight. Yeah. Kate, some cream past sell-by date, and they had diarrhea all night. Better now, but I like to spend the day with them. I love my animals, but I'm sorry. If they're doing better, you're just going to have to let, handle it. I just had that one on. Yeah, so far all we know with L5R is it's supposed to release later on this year with a pre-release at Gen Con. And 25-year-old Pamela Cox, a stripper from the club Twister, was brutally murdered in her home. SWAT, Mole, and Clements. Oh, I think I've got new affairs up. No, it's one more day. Okay. I've got still nothing great on that. She's got such low professionalism, I'm reticent to hire her. As handy as it kind of would be. Jack, one of our kids climbed on the roof. He's talking about suicide. We need you to calm him down. At the same time, keep a lid on the situation. I'll send Coachy. So, I mean, this would be, somebody called in a suicide. I know I do this every time talking about you when it comes to anything involving Sans. Jack, I'm so glad you've lived up to my expectations and accepted the rules of the game. So far, the Freds are chasing their own tails, but you're following the trail of coins I've left for you. Feel how they're still warm to the touch? You're getting close. Sorry about your detective. I was just so excited to try out my new trap, but I swear it will never happen again. I'm questioning on that one. Okay, nothing new there. Let's see. Girl. Feeding the animals from the cornucopia. Brass knuckles, tire iron, or a nightstick. Ugh. Hell on Wheels, Fortune Bank, Lifewire Store, Beatbusters Dance Studio, Veterans House. Robbery Constitution 2000 Arcade. Group of teenagers cleaned out the video rental cash register while the owner, Bruno Boyce, was occupied in the back room. The store employee recognized one of the robbers, a regular at the arcade room. Gibbons and Osman. Let's look at this again. Let's see. I need... Oh, can I not get details? Fuck. Let's see. Animals, cornucopia, girl. No, she was a stripper. Fortune Bank, Livewire, Dance Studio, Veterans House. Electronics store. What do they have in common with the card? Feds are chasing our trees for you, following trail of coins I've left for you. Feel how they're still warm to the touch. You're getting close. Sorry about the detective. Ew. Red. Mentioned coins, so I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna say the bank and pray. Don't have enough time to send them everywhere. Teenager fitting the description of the offender is playing alone in the arcade. Confirm with the manager it's the right suspect. Vendor caught. Officers unharmed. He made a point of the coins. So I'm hoping I'm on the right path. Whoop, not that one. Had more. Well, I had to send SWAT, so I can't help that. Silent alarm just tripped at Riverbank Central Branch. It appears that 4 to 6 armed robbers have stormed the bank and locked themselves inside. At least 15 visitors inside with them, along with dozens of bank employees. Oof. Kingston, Purdy. Austin. I don't have the detectives to send. Whoo! Thank God. Toy police car. So let's see. Torn piece of yellow fabric. A toy police car. Interesting. Fight Ice Prince Cafe. 15 hooligans burst into the cafe, broke the furniture into splinters, wounded the manager, and badly beat another young man. Man armed with a gun was there at the scene. He fired a warning shot, but the hooligans only laughed and continued their rampage, destroying everything in the area. Gibbons, Yancey, Dagger, Osmond. Oy. Report for armed robbery. Good. That went well. Man, I've got no legal reasons, though, to fire Austin, which... Fight report. Undercover officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Good. This is... I have to illegally fire them. That's going to come back to bite me. I mean, they can say what they want, but... I wish it'd give me the option of seeing what they said and everything. Terror threat. Police intercepted a radio signal similar to the kind used by terror cells. Appear to be preparing a terrorist attack on Freiburg. Radio could only catch short snatches of dialogue. It sounds like two cells, codenamed Green Snake and Jupiter, going to use something they're calling the Prophet's Hammer to make a giant explosion. Okay. Purdy, Dagger, Austin. Oh. I went to the wrong thing. Is it sad to wish that the three of them would all die on this mission? That solved me so many. There weren't any terrorists in the abandoned apartment. No signs of imminent attack. Signal was transmitted by a toy radio. That's intriguing. Like something like that would be evidence would be sent by a toy radio. Sounds like it was rigged up. I knew that sounded a bit high end for the town. The owner of a small grocery store reports teenage drug pushers are always hanging around to the corner outside his shop. I'm tired of calling this in. You cops can't never do anything. This disappointed man then abruptly hung up. Ugh. Coachy, Brock and Adams. I'm worried he's getting ready to do something. Arson report. 3 new frames. Drug possession. Wait a minute. Oh, that was part of my problem. Put that back, because he's supposed to have a lot of keys. Metal iron normally stored for ashes. I think I know part of my problem. So he unlocks the door. Nope. Truck comes twice. We're on a big chain with a lot of other keys. Still missing information. I've got something in the wrong order, or the truck's wrong, but I can't be sure. Suppose I could replace the truck, and that would... It says ghetto. Found cocaine. Jack, what kind of circus are you running over there? Tampering with evidence. Seems your men aren't so loyal after all. Just be glad we don't want to see any more hype in the papers about this dentist of yours. We convinced the prosecutor not to investigate your little sideshow, but we asked the feds to look into you. They're going to be over your they'll be going over your correspondence with a fine-tooth comb. God, I couldn't speak. Ah, shit.
Boyd.
Well, finally, Jack. I've been dying to reach you these past 2 weeks, but I thought I should give you some time to recover your strength. How are you feeling?
Better than ever, Mr. Sand. Touched by your concern.
Well, I hope this doesn't sound too sentimental, Jack. But while you were laying in a coma, I thought about our last meeting many times. It was such a fascinating conversation. You said it yourself. You're a true hunter.
No, Mr. Sand, it was you who said that.
Was it? Well, it doesn't matter. What is important, Kendrick told me a lot about you, Jack. But I suddenly realized that he didn't give me the whole story. Why is it you only want half?
What are you talking about?
Well, why is it you only want to make half? Not a whole million, just half. Not 100,000, but 5. It's a very specific figure. How did you arrive at that number?
Well, I was looking at a house a couple hours outside of Freeburg, down the river. I figured to buy it, move the family, and set everything up, I'd need right around $500,000. It's not my style to take more than I need.
Ah. I must admit, Jack, I imagined all sorts of reasons, but none of them were close to the truth.
Are you disappointed, Mr. Sand?
No, not with you, Jack. Quite the contrary. I respect you even more.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Mr. Sand. And now if you'll excuse me, I have to go home and get some sleep.
Of course, Jack. I just...
Ooh. That's interesting move. Oi, he's going through pill bottles like nobody's business. Day 69. Mayor's favorite stripper found dead in his home. A giraffe is coming to the zoo. 25-year-old Pamela Cox lays victim of brutal murder. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. I think that's a good spot to call for today. A lot has happened. We've had a serial killer show up. We've had the new prosecutor suddenly contact us, and this is starting to sound very much like a romance thing building up, which is going to be interesting, especially since Jack's trying to get back with his wife, or he has been. This girl sounds like she's half his age. They definitely seem to have a lot in common. But yeah, this is going some interesting places. I mean, if the feds knew what I knew when it comes to the investigation, I don't think they would, blame me for the quote-unquote withholding evidence. But as it is, we'll figure things out the next time. Thank you guys all for watching. Those of you who managed to catch it here live on Twitch. Those of you who made it this far on YouTube. I won't be on tomorrow because we got our shopping to do. But most likely when I come back on Saturday morning, it will most likely be more of Transformers Devastation. Hope you guys have had a good time. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.